Good morning, Dawgpound South campers. This is the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill. Well, I guess Browns commentators have to have something to talk about. So I know it's slow period. Like I keep saying, this is the time of lists. It's list and police blotter season. Let's hope the Browns just stick to lists. All right. I don't want any trouble. So let's start off with the one of the big questions going into training camp. Re-signing Grant Delpit. Now, Grant Delpit is 29 years old? Yeah, he'll be 29 in 2027. He's very productive, great against tight ends. I found a little stat that according to Sports Info Solutions, he was 7th among all safeties in the NFL for total points saved. In other words, stopping points from scoring. 7th out of all the safeties in the NFL last year. To me, that's productive. They can do one of two things. They can wait, which I don't want them to do, but they could wait and then see how productive McNeil, Warren, and Hickman are, or they can just go ahead and sign him. If I'm a betting man and I'm not, I would think that they would extend him. Then you don't have to worry about the safety room. It's pretty much taken care of. You have your all-pro veteran in Delpit. Ronnie Hickman, they are really impressed with him. Sometimes I think he's a little lazy, but they love him. And McNeil Warren looks like he's definitely a steal where he was picked. So if I am knowing that they have defensive depth issues at defensive end, linebacker, and corner, why not just shore up one of those rooms with Grant Delpit in the safety room? Boom, done. You're going to play three safeties anyway. Not like Jim Schwartz played three safeties. More of a not a coverage type three safety, but more of a protect the run type safety. So just sign him, fix it. And speaking of defense, the other room that doesn't need any help, defensive tackle, I have learned that Malik Collins is ahead of schedule. Rehab is going extremely well. So they'll probably don't get all excited when they start training camp and he's either limited in what he can do, but they're going to take their time with him to make sure he's okay. He was extremely productive as a defensive tackle last year. I mean, for pressure. I think he had 6.5 sacks, which was a career high at that point in the season when he got hurt. So they're going to take their time with him, and they should. But he's ahead of schedule, so that's good. The other, what else we have? Oh, yeah, it's mock draft season. John and I talked a little bit about this on Thursday, and he's talked about it and wrote an article about it. Mock draft. It was Pro Football Network had a draft out and had the Browns picking 4th and 32nd. So they're going to assume the Browns stink and the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. And they took 2 defensive linemen in the first round. Well, and then they come back and they take Trinidad Chambliss at 36 in the second round. Look, anybody who suggests, if the Browns are picking in the top 5 and anybody suggests that they're not going to take a quarterback, it's just, there's no logic to that. They have to take a quarterback. If they are picking 4th, that means their current quarterback room stinks. And they're not winning games. So basically, they're going to take a quarterback. They have to. And there's some good quarterbacks next year. as far as we know right now. By the way, Chambliss, he's what, 6 foot? Where I got his stats right down here. Yeah, he's got kind of a mid-level arm. He's 6 foot. What? Where is it? Average arm. 6'2". They've already got that guy in the squad. Taylor Green, and he'll have a year under his belt, probably on the practice squad. They'll probably throw him in on a few, as the emergency quarterback, throw him in a few design plays during the season. He's bigger, faster, stronger, and has a better arm. So they've already got Trinidad Chambliss on the squad, and his name is Taylor Green. So I'm not worried about that. Let's take a quick break. All right, we're back. Brought to you by Heritage Coffee, Shake the Hands of Fiji, and Sherry's Licorice. Hopefully it will be a sponsor soon. I can't wait to get some free samples. I'm a licorice fiend. Another big thing they're talking about, of course, we're talking about the supplemental draft. Now, the Browns have used the supplemental draft in the past when it actually meant something. That's how they got Bernie Kosar, and that's how they also got Josh Gordon. So this Sorsby thing just makes no sense to me. I don't see how any team would take a chance on this kid. And a lot of people are hanging their hat on what Andrew Berry told 92.3 The Fan. I read the quote. I would suggest you go back and listen to it or read the entire quote. He does mention that he said, everybody makes mistakes, but that doesn't make you a bad person. He basically said what you do to correct this behavior determines what type of person you are. Now, Sorsby did go to counseling, I think for 30 days. I do have a degree in psychology with an emphasis on counseling. Gambling addiction stays with you. Well, like any addiction, stays with you for your rest of your life. You fight it. It just doesn't poof, it's gone. You fight it every day of your life. So I don't know if 30 days is enough. I think what Andrew Berry, and this is pure speculation, opinion by me, I think that he's basically just saying, we don't want to berate this kid. He's got a problem, but it's just too much. I know a lot of people say, fourth round pick. No, if you need those fourth round pick to move around in next year's draft. If you truly are picking in the top 5 and you truly need a franchise quarterback, which, in my opinion, never exists anymore. I hate the constant Cleveland Browns Messiah search that seems to go on every year. But if you need to move, if you're picking in the top 5 and you need to move up, those fourth round picks come in handy. Don't waste it on a kid who needs another year of college football. All right, you've already got two year started, two year, and they did start 2-year players in your quarterback room right now. I don't think you need to add any more developmental quarterbacks. Taylor Green is your developmental quarterback. He could be something under the right situation. Let's find out. And they didn't waste a big pick on him. I mean, they got him later. So I'm all for developmental quarterbacks. Hell, we got 4 quarterbacks in our room right now. He's going to be suspended. Why go through the hassle? Besides, your head coach, who wants to win games, doesn't want him. I mean, let me just tell you something about Todd Monken. He doesn't mince words. There is no, what he meant by that conversation when he says something. When he says something, you can pretty much tell what he means. And he said it's a slippery slope. And I agree. And I think Andrew Berry agrees too. Now, are they going to do their due diligence? I guarantee you they already have. They've checked into this kid's past and they've checked into these allegations. And I just don't see him doing it. Now, if another team wants to waste a pick on this kid, go ahead. If I'm a gambler, if I'm wondering what's going to happen, I think he goes through the entire supplemental draft not being taken. And then he signs as an undrafted rookie free agent with some team who doesn't care, who's got their quarterback room pretty much settled. And then he gets suspended for anywhere between 9 months to a year. And they just sit back and like put him in a savings account type situation. Well, he's there. We know he's there. We'll work on it. And who knows? But I just don't see it right now for the Cleveland Browns. And I wish the media would just leave it alone. But they're not going to, because we're the Cleveland Browns. And everybody thinks we're desperate for a quarterback. So, what I've heard is they have made no decision on Sorsby at this point, which tells me they're probably not going to take him. So we talked about Malik Collins. Here's a little interesting tidbit that I was told the other day. During OTAs and mini camps, and nobody noticed this, I didn't even notice this, that Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders, when they would come in and do their reps with the first team at that point in OTAs and mini camp, they would basically run through identical sets. Like if first play was a draw play, second play was a screen play, third play, they did it the same way, in the same progression. That tells me that the coaching staff feels that these two guys are pretty even. And if they're even, if a 10-year veteran can't pull away from a 5th-round draft pick, I don't see how you can assume that 10-year veteran is going to be your starter. Another thing I keep hearing is people say, well, his feet, he looks good. He's running. No, he's running against backups and in non-tackling situations. And this is a guy with 2 ruptured Achilles tears. I mean, Achilles, let's wait till training camp. I think when we get to training camp, you're going to see that Deshaun Watson will look as slow as he did in 2024. Go back and watch some game. He looked slow. Plodding would be a word I'd use back in 2024. So it's, I just can't see it. If a young, athletic Shedeur Sanders, now y'all know I'm not a big Sanders fan. I just want him to win the job so we don't have to constantly go on this Messiah search, and that Deshaun Watson will not take another meaningful snap for the Cleveland Browns. But if a young athletic Shedeur Sanders just gets rid of some bad habits, like retreating when there's pressure, trust your offensive line, trust your running game, which are going to be better. So he shouldn't have the same problems as he had last year. Shouldn't. But if the same problems materialize, then that mock draft will be correct. The Browns will be picking 4th, and they will be taking the quarterback. So I have some comments from Raul Havana. Yeah, trust me on that one. Yeah, right. We don't have a quarterback whisperer anymore, Raul. Thank God. So you're going to hear a lot of garbage probably this week about Sorsby. He's nothing more than a developmental quarterback. And I don't know. Raul also made a comment about Mary Kay. I'll just tell you right up front. Mary Kay's source is Dee Haslam. They have become friends. So anytime Mary Kay puts something out, it's going to have an owner's side to it. So just know that in advance. All right. So that's it for this morning. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. It's going to be quiet, hopefully. We're going to see a lot of lists. We're going to see a lot of things that are going to denigrate the Cleveland Browns, because that's what national media likes to do. And you're going to hear a lot about Brendan Sorsby, who, if don't touch him, Browns, just let it go. You got 4 quarterbacks already, and if none of them work out, you have a quarterback trap next year that can help fix this team. Thank you. Even Raul says Happy Father's Day. Isn't that great? All right. So everybody, have a great day. This has been the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill. And once again, thank you for watching, listening, subscribing, and following us here at the Fanatical Elves Network. We're just Browns fans like you. And my whole shtick is I don't listen to the local media like they are the prophets they think they are, because they're not. They're guessing. Just remember that Myles Garrett trade was in the works for 2 months. 2 months. And not one member of the national local media even sniffed it, because the Cleveland Browns front office does not leak. Just remember that. All right, everybody, have a great day. Happy Father's Day. Go Browns.